Beautiful. So primary. Okay, so I think the entirety of all let's say opinions, sentiment, experiences, like everything people have come to realize or experience with global exchange has culminated or organized itself into three categories. And these are not like three product lines. They're not three types of users. There are three categories that whereby products, users, sentiment, lucrative opportunities intertwine. And we've developed an internal map to look at this because we realized, okay, we're heading now into what we want to start as really generating the next wave of customers, the next wave of brokers. And that means that we have to re-examine ourselves, understand our value propositions as an ecosystem, and then manifest those in paradigms that A, people can relate to, and B, people can self-select themselves in. And why that's important is that the first wave of customers and brokers that literally have extended until now, like from the time, it's about 1 year from the time that we started talking about this in May of last year all the way until today, people from all walks of life found some optimism or prospect in entertaining or learning about global exchange, but there was no self-selection process. It was kind of like everybody wanted to pick out a global exchange what made sense for them, and you can see how that actually manifests itself by everybody having a different opinion on it and everybody having a different reason for their opinion on it. And so I'll give you an example. Both me and Ariel, coming from, like, if we were just people engaging with global exchange just as anybody else did, then I could at this point be thrilled with global exchange and he can be thrilled, but we can be thrilled for completely different reasons. He might be thrilled because his favorite color is blue, and I might be thrilled because I'm able to do e-transfer deposits, whatever it is. Similarly, he could be angry, I could be angry, and we could be angry for two different reasons. He could be angry because the altcoin that he wants to trade is not supported by global exchange yet, and I could be angry because I live in Liechtenstein and I don't have the simplest access. And so what that's a symptom of is a one size fits all mentality. And if you've watched my vision readdressed for 2020 July, that's the first thing I tried to tackle down. And global exchange is not one size fits all. It's a community of people that have almost nothing to do with each other, nothing to relate with each other. You have traders, you have people trying to buy Bitcoin for the first time. You have people that are influential in other domains of life that want to make money as a broker. You have people that are influential in crypto trying to make money as a broker, right? And so, that's just, you have people that are white labels. You have people that are just now developers, a big growing community of developers. You have people that are just investors. You have people that are using us to buy large amounts of Bitcoin, small amounts of Bitcoin, use ICE, so many different things. And so with that domain comes a group of people that don't look like each other, that don't feel like each other. And if they all tug at the same, set of values, it's not going to work out. And so that, I would say, is the best example. That's the best explanation of our first wave of momentum, which I would say went all the way for about a year. Obviously momentum works in cycles, but I'm just saying I'm making the arbitrary distinction that it was about the time we started till now. And that's fine, because at the beginning you don't want to self-segregate your message too much, and you kind of want a homogenous community, even if it's not meant to be homogenous. But now that we're going into, let's call it phase 2, we want to be much more clear with where in the global exchange universe any person that is engaging with global exchange can fit. And so this is how we have analyzed that, is what you're about to see on my screen. And again, this is not a clear cut, like, you know, GX breaks down into 3 products or 3 levels or 3 this, that, and the other. It's definitely not that. It can't be that because of how dynamic we've made some of the access points. But if it was to be something that looks close to that, it would be DTC, which stands for direct to consumer. Then you have broker, and then you have token. So this, and I know 2 of those words are very familiar to you guys, which is broker and token. It doesn't mean the definition that you guys maybe have thought it to mean, which is, oh, token means the GX token, broker means GX broker. I want to try to take this as an opportunity to express that these are lucid paradigms that have interoperating states. People, users, feelings, sentiment, money travels through these paradigms pretty loosely. But if we had to draw some borders, this is what it would look like. The first video, like if you look at my the videos that I released, they're broken down into these 3 categories. Playlist 1, direct to consumer. Playlist 2, broker 2.0. Playlist 3, GX transformation, GXT transformation. So I'm releasing the onslaught of content, which obviously the majority of will happen in the first week or so of me talking about this now, in these 3 categories. Within these 3 categories, there are obviously subsets that better classify someone's engagement. And so let's call it, let's say that under direct to consumer, the first one that we did was obviously Insta Crypto as a direct to consumer point. And the entire video, all the videos that you've seen so far are just, excuse me, I'll show you in here. Like if you click playlist 1, direct to consumer, there's one subset for Insta Crypto, there's one for crypto lottery. There's obviously several more that are not even on here that we're ready to move with. And why that's important, I'm showing right here. So under direct to consumer, you're looking at, let's say the first one being Insta Crypto. Okay. And could be something like crypto lottery being number 2, etc. Right? So, and then under broker, it will have its own, you know, relative engagement points, and under token, obviously a tremendous amount. So that's how it's going to play out. That's how the content is going to be released. Why is that important? And B, what does that mean for you guys? What does that mean for the people watching? It first means that we're dedicating ourselves, our resources, our staff to native messaging for each of these subcategories. And those native messaging components are obviously expressed through advertising, through word of mouth, through social media, through, you know, whatever it is, and won't have anything to do with each other for the most part. Like right now, we have one Facebook group for the purpose of consolidation, but that Facebook group is not, it's not working for anybody because it's trying to work for more than 1-2 constituents. And you can see that we are able to engage people, but the engagement sometimes doesn't make sense for someone reading it. And so that is very important to see already. Why that hasn't been a tremendous problem until recently is because only recently did we even start talking about these 2 as direct to consumer applications. And I've never made that articulation as I've made on this call today, clear as on this call today. But now that it's more visible that the engagement points transcend, one homogenous vision, I think there's going to be lots of conflict. And that just might be out of the lack of information. I think that could be out of the, frustration on certain levels, or even that could be out of one doing really well and one not. And although that's a natural outcome of releasing things, that's not easy for a particular constituent to maybe swallow. So what we have to do is we have to speak the language to the person that wants to be spoken to in that language. And so the first degree of separation is these three things.